The other one I wanted to talk about was systems and the everyday little tiny systems that we subconsciously develop as an adult to try and cope with our everyday life and the issues of an ADHD mind. So I didn't realize until more recently that a lot of my little things, little quirks and things that I did around the house were actually systems that I'd subconsciously created that would cue me to remember to do things that I needed to do that I had problems remembering. And that comes out like, look how messy she is. She just threw her washing on the floor in the hallway. I do that because I know I have to remember to do it, and I'm in between things. And so if I don't make myself a visual cue to remind myself where I cannot but trip over it, I won't remember. So I throw something on the floor so that I have to trip over it in order to remind me to do that thing. So it may be washing, or it may be something that I need to take with me when I go out. And so I will just put it in the hallway. So I have to walk around it every single time I go into the hallway near the front door so that I can't possibly leave the house without noticing it. So it looks like messy to an external viewer, but for me, it's a bunch of little systems that I have come up with over the years to try and just help me cope and do the things that I need to do as a grown-up. I realized that I never used the word grown-up. I never referred to myself as a grown-up until I had children. And now that's all I refer to myself as. I think that's how you tell if somebody's a parent or not. When they call themselves a grown-up, you're like, you've got kids. Because it just comes out, even when I'm just talking to other grown-ups, adults. But I think, anyway, back to got distracted again. The systems. The children. Sometimes they will see something that I've put on the floor, a very important thing, to remind me of a very important thing, and they'll go, oh, I think of a project I could use that for, and they pick it up and they take it somewhere else. They see plants in a plant pot that I have got for my friend, and it's at the front door to remind me to give it to my friend when I go and see her today. And then I come back and the pot is gone. And there's Sasha going, Mummy, look at the garden that I've made. And she's taken all the pots out of the pot plant and she's put them in the ground and made Sasha, that wasn't... For me, the internal response I get to somebody outside might seem way over the top. Like the response that I get when one of my little systems is interrupted or is something's changed, it's like the whole world is falling down around me because I had a little ounce of control. Suddenly I've got none. I could have remembered. I may have remembered, and that's an achievement, but suddenly there's it's like way bigger internally for me when my system is interrupted, because it's like the bottom corner brick has been taken out of the three-legged building. Buildings don't have legs, but imagine they had legs, and this building has 3 legs, only 3, because that's the most stable number of legs to have. And then you take one of them and it's a tiny brick in the whole building. There's thousands of people in that building who are about to die because somebody's removed a tiny brick and the whole thing's about to go like that. That's how it feels when somebody interrupts one of the steps in one of my systems. And I want to tell a story because my ADHD diagnosis has been very validating for me in this is one of the ways that I've been like, oh, I am not unreasonable. Over the years when I've been struggling, I've had some beautiful, beautiful friends who have, they've come around and we've had a cuppa, and I constantly have to do things in order to keep on top of my housework. I have to be doing it every spare minute of time that I'm home. So I would be taking the washing down off the washing line. And there was a friend who was helping me. Beautiful. She was wonderful, and I really appreciate the help always. But she was helping me take the washing down off the washing line. And I touched on this in my washing video. I have a system for my washing, which I have developed over 15, 20 years of working my absolute hardest to get the washing done and failing mostly, dismally. Now I'm on top of it. I never get to the point where my whole house is where I can't walk through the room. I have to swim through the dirty washing through the house, and it's everywhere, but not in the drawers. There's nothing in the drawers. I haven't got to that point for a long time now because I've got this tried and true system that's worked really well for me. One of the things that has to happen in that system is that when I take the things off the line, they have to come off the line in groups of people and go into the basket in piles for each person. If they go into the basket in random order, it is very overwhelming for me. When I see that basket full of washing, I know this is going to be a long video, and I'm okay with that because this is important. This systems one is very important to me. It's so important to me. So the washing goes in a basket. If it's all like this, it's overwhelming because I have to sort each piece individually, and I know how much mental energy that's going to take. Subconsciously, I know. One of the other strategies I've developed over the years for my to-do list is if I want to get any sense of feeling productive, I have to nail the quick and easy ones first. They always come first. And the ones I don't have to think or work myself up for, they go first. And then I develop a bit of momentum with them, and generally I can follow on with some of the tasks that take more executive function to achieve. So for me, to put the washing away, it has to seem like it's going to be quick and easy and I don't have to think. That's why I take it off the line in groups of people, because then I can just walk into the room and go bam, 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 and put all those things away in one person's room, rather than walking back and forth between rooms, because I've talked about the anxiety that is induced by walking between two rooms with the task that I have to achieve in each room. So taking things off the line that belong to each person, Sasha, Jackson, that is really important for me, because if I do not do that step, that basket of washing is going to sit there and it's not going to be top priority, because I have to smash out the jobs that are easy for me. That is not easy for me. And it probably means that I'm not going to get to that today. And I'm probably going to look tomorrow and it's not going to be the easiest task at the top of the list tomorrow. And it's not going to get done tomorrow because I have to smash through the top ones. And then subconsciously, I don't necessarily know I'm doing this, by the way. And when I do realize and when I do catch myself, then I can knuckle down, and I can just go, no, just do it. Just do it, Kristen. You know, like I'm about to slay an army, but actually I'm just putting the washing away that's been jumbled up in the basket. Back to the story. My friend, as I said to her, can we just she'd taken them off in random order. I said, oh, would we be able to just take off just Sasha's stuff first and then just Jackson's stuff? And she said to me, do you know what? And she was just making a little bit of a point, but it was also kindly, but also she just didn't understand. But she basically said, if I had somebody helping me take the washing off the line, I would take that help however it came, which was basically saying, don't be picky with how I do this. I'm helping you out here. She didn't realize when she said that I could see a week into the future, and that one tiny action from her of jumbling them up in the basket could start off, and most likely would start off, a chain of events which leads to me swimming through a household of dirty washing in 1 week's time with nothing to send the kids to school in and completely overwhelmed with my life. And it seems silly, but in reality, that one change to how she did things actually leads to that other thing. And I knew that. I've lived this for so long that the anxiety that I got watching her do that was big enough for me to say something. And I'm justified in that, it turns out. That is a real thing for me. ADHD does that to me, and there is nothing I can do about it. I'm trying, and I have tried, and hopefully medication will help with that. I don't know. But I'm justified in asking for people to help me with my systems. because that helps me keep on top of my whole life. There's no way she could have known that that one little action could have such massive consequences for me in a week's time. So I totally get that. But that's why I have to ask. And if an ADHD person asks you for help to do something a certain way, or if they seem to overreact about how you've done something, or you've moved something, or something which was actually part of a subconscious system they had going just to be able to stay afloat, it feels massive and they may react in a big way. It may seem like, whoa, why is that such a big deal that I did that? But often that's what's going on underneath. These little things that keep our little three-legged building in place. Take one brick out, the whole thing falls down. Anyway, that's a really long video. I might cut it into 2 pieces, but I feel like that's a really important one for ADHD people. It's okay to stick up for your systems. It's really important, actually. Good luck with your day and your system maintenance.